कजरिया टाइल हो इन्द्रे, कजरिया। क्वालिटी बुझेकासँग पो कुरा गर्नु। द्या उता जाऊ।
हजुर, टाइल माग्दा एसियाकै टप ब्रान्डेड कजरिया टाइल नै माग्नुहोस्।
दिउँसो 3:15 बजेदेखि 4 बजेसम्म, सामाजिक विषय दिउँसो 4 बजेदेखि दिउँसो 4:45 बजेसम्म। मात्र रेडियो मलमला 88.6 मेगाहर्ज, रेडियो सैना मैना 91 मेगाहर्ज र साझा पत्र अनलाइनको फेसबुक पेज र युट्युब च्यानल मार्फत लाइभ सुन्न अनि हेर्न नभुल्नुहोला। अनुरोधक सैना मैना नगरपालिकाको नगर कार्यपालिकाको कार्यालय, बुद्धनगर, रूपन्देही।
Namaste everyone. It's me, Dhanbahadur Rana. I'm here with you on the second day of our online virtual class. It is organized by Saina Maina Municipality, Rupandehi. Dear students, today we are going to start a new chapter, a poem. It is second poem, The Road Not Taken, given in Unit 9, page number 48, Grade 10 English book. Before we get started this poem, I display a picture for the students of grade 10 SEE. Look at the picture and answer the following questions. Under this engage yourself activity, it is one of the important reading activity. You must have seen a picture. On the basis of this picture, you are given few questions. The first is guess what the boy is thinking about. You have seen a picture. There's a boy standing on the fork of a road in the jungle, in the wood. So question number 1, guess what the boy is thinking about. I hope you have guessed the answer. The boy is thinking about the road he has to take. Question number 2, which road do you think he chooses? Your answer may be different. For this question, I think he chooses the road to his left, or I think he chooses the road to his right. Similarly, come to next question, question number C. Dilemma is a situation in which a difficult choice has to made between two or more things, more alternatives. Dilemma is a confusion where you have to choose one between two. So have you ever faced a dilemma? It's a question for you, dear students. Yes, I have faced a dilemma so many times. I have faced a dilemma once in my life. So your answer may be different. When? And for this question also, you can have varieties of answer, varieties of your responses. So while going to market, while buying a shirt, while trying to enroll a student, maybe the situation different according to you. Why were you in a dilemma? So your answer may be, I were in a dilemma because I could not choose which thing to do first. What should I do next? So like that. So what did you do in that situation? And you may have different options for this question. You can have different ideas. So what did you do in that situation? I took help of other. I thought for some time. So you can have differently. So was it difficult to make a choice between the two? Sure, certainly it was difficult. Or after some times thinking, you may have the correct answer, or you can decide what to do or what not to do. Dear students, let me give some short introduction, brief introduction about the poet before we deal with the poem, The Road Not Taken. This poem was composed by Robert Lee Frost. Robert Lee Frost was an American poet who was born on 26 March 1874 and died on 29th January 1963. He is highly regarded for the realistic depictions of rural life. His works frequently employed settings from rural life in New England in the early 20th century, using them to examine complex social and philosophical themes. One of the most popular and critically respected American poets of the 20th century, Frost was honored frequently during his lifetime, receiving 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. He was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal in 1960 for his poetic works. On July 22, 1961, Frost was named Poet Laureate of Vermont. Robert Frost is very much popular poet, and you can see his picture also. So on the basis of his trend of writing, what sorts of writing, what sorts of ideas are expressed in his poems, you have got a little idea. So you can find so many kinds of materials to support, to know more about this poet, Robert Frost. So, dear students, let's enjoy the poem. Listening, I have a short video about the poem. So let's listen it, let's watch it, and then after watching it, we'll discuss upon it. You can understand what is in the poem.
Two roads diverged in the yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. Be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down at one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair. It having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though, as for that, the passing there had really worn them about the same. And both that morning equally lay in the leaves no step had trodden by. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference.
Alright, students, the audio was not very loud, but even you can take it as a revision class. It has been already done so many times in your classes. So the road not taken is a poem composed by Robert Frost. So let us go discussing through the verses line by line. So the very first line of this poem is, two roads diverge in a yellow wood. So diverge means divided, branched. So two roads, the speaker tells that two roads diverge in a yellow wood. Wood means jungle, that's a forest. And sorry, I could not travel both. The speaker is on his journey. He comes to the fork. He comes to the road where it was diverged in a yellow wood, and he feels sorry because he was one traveler. He wanted to go both roads. He wanted to travel both roads, but he is unable because and be one traveler long I stood. So there he is in dilemma. He is in confusion. So there he stands for long, looking down as far as he could. So there he tried to think the road to go. To where it bent in the undergrowth. As he was in confusion, as he was in dilemma for about choosing the road he has to take. So there he stands for long and looks down as far as he can. So here, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Undergrowth means bushes, small plants, and bend means cord. So there he can't see far because the undergrowth disturbs him to see far. Then took the other is just as fair. So the speaker looks another road, and without any biasness, he tries to examine both roads. So then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim. So the road, the first road, that was, he was looking for taking long time. In both roads he observed equally and finds perhaps the better claim. So that perhaps means probably, claims means demand, ask. So that was used more, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Here the poet compares two roads, the one and the other, both roads, they were covered with leaves, but there is little difference between those two roads. The road, it was grassy. The second one, it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as far that the passing there had warned them really about the same. When the speaker observes both the roads, he finds equally the same. Here the speaker finds that the leaves are fallen. It may be the jungle is yellow. It may be because this is fall. During fall, during autumn, the leaves get dry, their color changes. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. So here you have to pay attention to these words. Lay, lay means placed, remained. Trodden means walked on. So in both that morning means that morning. Both means both roads, the two roads, the leaves equally lay. And it seems as if no one had stepped on. It seems that no one had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. It means the poet, perhaps, he keeps the first road for the next time. Although he wants to travel both, but it's not possible for him because he is a single traveler. For a single traveler, for one, how can it be possible for taking both roads at the same time? Yet knowing how way leads on to another. So what is here? Yet knowing how way leads on to way. So he is again here in confusion. He is in great dilemma. He thinks that where does it go? How long does it take? And he feels that taking this road is not an ordinary task. It's not easy. That's why he thinks to travel the first road for another time. I doubted if I should ever come back. So here, doubted means suspected. He was not sure whether he could easily come back. So I doubted if I should come back. So here, dear students, in Nepali version, how can you understand this? कवि यस्तो दोधारमा छन् कि उनी यो बाटो त्यो दोस्रो बाटो म गए भने सजिलै फर्किन सक्छु कि सक्दिन होला उनलाई शंका लाग्छ. But he is optimistic. He is clearly hopeful that I shall be telling this with a sigh. So the speaker may be telling with a sigh. Here, sigh means deep and long breath. So here, I shall be telling this with a sigh. It means in the future, he will be sharing his problem. He will be telling to others that with a sigh, long and deep breath. Somewhere, ages and ages hence. So he tells that from now on, from at that time, somewhere for ages and ages, for years and years, two roads diverge in wood and I. So here, two roads diverge in wood. In that jungle, the road diverged in two. And I took the one less traveled by. So here, since he cannot travel both at the same time, so he took the one less traveled by. He took the second that was used by less. So it shows that the poet, the speaker, has planned to take some challenge. He wanted to learn something new and he wanted to do something different. And that has made all the difference. The speaker feels that. The speaker realizes that taking the another way, less travel by, makes great difference in his life. Alright, this poem can be understood in this way. Let me explain briefly as an interpretation of this poem, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. The poem, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost, is about the choices that one makes in life. It tells about a man who comes to a fork in the road. We have already discussed. The speaker finds himself standing to a fork. He feels sorry that he cannot travel both paths as he must choose one. Frost uses his fork in the road to represent a point in the man's life where he has to choose the direction he wishes to take in his life. As he thinks about his decision, he looks down on one path as far as he can see, trying to foresee that life will be like if he walks the path. One road was beaten track. Many people had walked on it, and it was lost in the small shops. It was lost in the undergrowth. The other road was grassy and unspoiled. That was not disturbed. At this point, he concludes that the path that has been less traveled one will be more rewarding when he reaches the end of it. The man then decides he will save the other path for another day. Even though he knows that one path leads to another and that he won't get chance to go back. The man then says he will be telling this story with a sigh to somebody in future. The choice he has made, according to him, has changed his life. It may brought him success, happiness, and fulfillment. The choice that he made at that time affected his future. The choice made all the difference to his life. Okay, well, students, after brief discussion, analysis of the poem or interpretation of the poem, we have to do some exercise based on this poem. So let me present the exercise. You have to try here with me. Match the following words with their meanings. So here are few words given on the basis of the poem and their meanings too. So you have to match them and try whether you have understood the idea or not. So I hope you have got what is the theme of the poet. The poet tells that everybody has many choices. Everybody has so many alternatives in his or her life. But he or she has to choose the best, which can bring great change in his or her life. So you also have to do the same thing. The road means here the journey of our life. And yellow wood, fork, that can be taken as challenges, confusions, or even alternatives in our life. So we should be capable enough to next time in our next class, I shall be taking another poem. So then I have planned for you. I'll be helping you. So before signing out from this class, wish you for the wonderful day. Thank you.
त्यो जिङ्गल बजाउनु पर्ने हो नि यस्तो मान्छे यो काट्यो अब अर्को सब्जेक्ट हो युट्युबमा गर्नु के अरे फेसबुकमा भएको झन् ठिक हुन्छ सुन्नु न त्यो उसलाई त्यो के गर्नु पर्यो मैले डाइरेक्ट गर्छु कि त्यो मिक्सरबाट जो
मिक्सरमा हैन कि यहाँ छुने बित्तिकै भएको
हैन के यसले निकाल फाल्दै के नमिले
मैले
मैले सोध्दैको अडियो
यही ठिक सुनियो यही डाइरेक्ट गरेर यही सुन्ने राम्रो सुन्ने त्यो पोइम
का तिमीले अहिलेसम्म के गर्दै हो र यताबाट गएको थियो
त्यही त के यतादेखि गरेको थियो के
यताबाट गएको थिएँ
यो
भनेपछि यहाँ
यो किन ठिक छैन त्यो भित्रको त उ पनि
भयो थु त राख
यो बरु आजलाई राखौँ भोलिबाट
थु
यसले राम्रो सपोर्ट गर्छ
के सुन्ने त्यो रेकर्ड अलि राम्रो
के फरक पर्छ त राख त्यसो गरे त्यही त भनेको नि
100% उ गर्दा पनि भोल्युम गराउँदा नि त्यो आवाज चाहिँ
यसको आवाज यसको राम्रै गर्थ्यो त रेडियोमा त यसको
त्यो
पोइमको आवाज राम्रो सुन्ने थियो रेडियोमा त मैले घरबाट सुनेको थिएँ तपाईँले पोइम प्ले गर्दा अहिले तपाईँ प्ले गरेर सुन्नु न उसमा रेडियोमा उसमा राम्रो छ आवाज त पुगेछ आवाज
हो तर यहाँ आवाज स्लो
यहाँ तपाईँले यहाँ सुनेर रेडियो
आएन भनेर यताबाट आउनुभयो होइन तर पनि 100%
ल सर पेन ड्राइभ खै तपाईँको
हजुर
पेन ड्राइभ
दिएन मैले
दिनु थियो अनि मैले लिनु
यो फेरि नबनाइकन आएछु नलगाम है
तपाईलाई कस्तो
के आउनु आउनु लगाम
कति राम्रो
देखियो थियो अरे सबको हिजोको अन्त धेरै चेन्ज भएछ अझै क्यामेरामा हेर्नुहोस् क्यामेरामा अलिक कम भएछ है
हुन्छ करेक्सन गर्नु
हिजोको भन्दा त धेरै ठिक भयो त अस्तिको भन्दा हिजोको त नै हिजोको भन्दा त 100% ठिक भयो हिजो केही चाहिँ नभएपछि
यो दिउँसो त नेत्र सरकै हैन अनि रेडियोबाट अनि पछि चाहिँ
कस्तो क्लिन आउँछ के
कति क्लिन आउँछ हैन फेरि
क्यामेरा
चाहियो नि त बहुत क्लिन आउँछ
मान्छेतिर खिच्दा बत्ती बाल्ने यता खिच्दा नि हो नि
यसैलाई चप्काइयो उता निस्केछ कस्तो रहेछ के यो यसले काटेर चाहिँ मलाई यो रोकिँदो रहेछ यति छ चाहिदिउँ छोड्नु के हुन के उता गएपछि यो चाहिँ अब काट्ने पछि हेर्छ नि यही उ गरिन्छ नि यहाँ त भोलि जानु त नयाँ हालिन्छ फेरि
So what did you do in that situation? And you
ए त्यो रेडियोलाई भने हौ हुन त थियो छैन भने त हो नि कसले गर्छ गरे न उसले
मैले किसलाई भनेको
गरे हो
गर्छु भन्थ्यो गरेको थियो भनेको
you can take it as a revision class.
के भयो यो त पैसा त लिन आउला नि त फेरि
In that morning,
कति मिनट थियो कति
भए पो हुन्छ
त्यस्तो अरे 50,000 पनि पैसा हो
50,000
ए लाख त ठिकै मैले त 50,000 भनेर बेइज्जत भयो भनेको
was composed by
यस्तो भए पो हुन्छ
50 लाख त ठिकै हो
त्यसपछि
Robert Lee Frost.
सबभन्दा यार त्यो भिडेको यो कोरोनामा चाहिँ पञ्चालयमा कोराहरू
So let's
यो प्ले भएन
अनि यता सुरक्षा र स्वास्थ्य
pass it
तीनटा छन् के
after
सुरक्षा स्वास्थ्यको फेरि लामो बनाएछ यार। त्यो आज छिटो बनाउँदाखेरि
यही छ भने यही ठिक छ।
लामो होइन